I'm planting today. I got the International and the Marliss, and we're putting weed out. I don't know if I said this before because I had some questions about it, of why we're doing this. It's for overseeding for cattle to graze, to cut back down on hay eating and everything else. That's why we do this. It's not to harvest or anything else. I wish I had a way to harvest something like this, because then I could make some money doing that too, be another source of income coming in, and to help pay for this thing. But this is the first time I've got to use it, so I'm gonna set y'all up from this camera so it can be recording as I go across the field, and I'll talk some more to y'all on the tractor here in a minute. Okay, I'm having to do voiceover today because the audio didn't turn out too good on the in-cab footage here for some reason. I don't know why, but it didn't. And we are sowing wheat. Normally we buy oats too, and I put those some in the hay fields because some of my customers like that, but I didn't get them this year. It just didn't, it's just too late and it's not going to do what I want it to do, so we decided to go wheat just for the cows. So, but I was using the GPS when I was doing this. Y'all probably wondering why you need a GPS just running a 7-foot drill. The reason why I'm using the GPS is because the acre meter on the drill is no good. It just doesn't work properly, so I'm using the GPS to actually get a good read on what I'm putting down, so that way I can get the drill set up accurately per pound, and it helps to make sure I didn't forget anything. But this is the first time I haven't used it with the sprayer, and I used it with the drill or something else, and I was extremely surprised after the first 2 rounds when it got the line straightened out how accurate it was, considering I don't have a level sensor or anything in this with this GPS. It's just the GPS monitor and the helix antenna. I did not get the patch. I think I've talked about this before because it has a tendency to lose signal. But the helix, I've never lost signal with it under trees or anything. Now my neighbor got a Raven Cruiser set up on his commercial fertilizer truck. He's actually the guy that does our chicken litter and lime and stuff for us, and he was telling me the other day that when he gets under trees or something, the bed was shutting off because it was losing signal. Now I don't know what antenna he has, but mine hasn't done that. I should have asked him that day. Didn't even dawn on me to ask him what antenna he was using, because I know his patches have a problem with that, but they are cheaper. So, but if you're out in an open field, it doesn't really matter. But the helix antenna, which is the big white one, I haven't had any issues with it. But I am using it just for an acre meter. It was pretty close. It was off a little bit, and me and Dad's going to make a few adjustments after I got done with this field. It was a good field to calculate exactly what we're putting down. And the reason why I'm doing this is I want to make sure that I get this very precise, because if I don't, I mean, we're losing money. And unfortunately, this is the modern age farming. You have to be precise down to the very last seed and grain. Fertilizer, same way. You don't want to put more. We used to put just, if land didn't turn off what it needed to, we just went and dumped fertilizer on it, because we could get chicken litter or manure or something real cheap then and get it put on. And that's, nobody really did soil test a whole lot around here. Some people did, but now it's a pretty well staple thing where everybody does it, just about, that's in the hay business. And you have to, because you don't want to put more than you need, and you don't want to put less than you need, because you got to be real precise with it or you won't make any money. And that's just the way farming is now with everything. You got to count every cent and every penny if you want to make anything. And But the Raven Cruiser, get back to that, it was really accurate. I was shocked. It was telling me where I needed to be, and I was just following my tire tracks to right up against it, and because I could see it. It's easy to see with short grass in this thing where exactly I need to be, and it was dead on. I mean, it might have been 3 or 4 inches off, if it was even that, and that's just with the monitor and the GPS alone. It's not with level sensors. It has level sensors that goes in the cab and other stuff that goes with it, that when the cab tilts, it throws the antenna off. So when you're watching the monitor and you get on real dippy ground, you can see the line drastically changing, and it'll come back when you come out of it. If you have a level sensor in the cab, it won't do that, and it reads it accurately. So that way, if you're planting corn or something, you don't have any mess ups. But for what I wanted it for, just to use on a sprayer, it's not that big of a deal. But I'm really impressed with the Raven that I've got. I'm glad I went that route instead of going with other manufacturers. The ag leader is probably the best, but I mean, you're looking at a lot of money for an ag leader. I did hear the other day that Raven has now come out with a monitor style. It's like an iPad that looks like the ag leader setup that they have now. But me and my friend was talking about it, about how well that would bounce off the floor if it fell. And he said that the dealer told him, he said, well, that's not something you probably want to mount with a suction cup. That's probably something you want to hard mount. But it comes with stuff, it's expensive, and for it to go bouncing across the floor, I don't know. That's why I don't like suction cups. But the other day I was talking about the continuous round baler, and I got a little bit of feedback on it. I think pretty well everybody agreed with me about my thoughts, and the ultimate response is that everybody would rather have a square baler design that you can pull with smaller tractors that's cheaper than what the alternatives are now. And I think that these tractor companies really need to put some time and money into that and figure that out, because ultimately that's the ultimate baler. Would it kill the round roller industry? I don't know. It would definitely put a hurting on it. What I was thinking about is what I told one of y'all in the comments, was maybe a baler that would bale 4-foot wide bale. And the reason why I say that is because then you could double stack them on each side and it'll fill out a flatbed trailer fully all the way across. That's one reason why I would want a 4-foot wide. But then make it maybe the height of like a regular square bale, small square bale, like 1.5 feet, 2 foot tall. And then you can make the length like any square baler as long as you want it, or short. But then that way you would fill out the trailer, but it would be narrow, or not tall enough to where you could get by with a smaller tractor. And I would think that that would be probably the best way to go. And what I was thinking is you could do like the new Crones have, where they have that multi pack or tie in their large bales. You could take a baler that size and do a multi-tie in the bale and tie individual bales inside of that. And somebody like me in the horse hay business that sells squares, you could tie a bale about the size of a square bale throughout the entire bale, and then there you go. You've got a big baler for cows or something like that, and then you can do a multi-tie in the bale where it ties several different little bales in one bale but ties it all together. And you could have smaller bales for people in the horse business that want bales like small square bales. I mean, you would have more string in it, but you would have that option if you wanted it, and it would be a lot faster because you'd still be able to move at the same speed you normally would with a round roller or something, and it would be fast to get up because it'd all be tied into one big bale. But you cut the strings like Krone has with theirs, so that way you could separate the individual type bales in the inside. It's very basically what it is it's a big bale, but inside of the big bale there's like 6 or 7 little bales that's tied all into one big bale. And the way it does that is through the bale length that it goes, it ties multiple times with half the knotters that's through the bale, and then it has the outer round strings for the outer knotters, or it'll tie to do the outer part to hold it all together. It's very complex, but I've seen it with Krone has it now. It's proven technology, and it's on the market now with a big bale. But I would like to see it brought down to a smaller bale, so then you could pull it with a tractor like this McCormick, and it wouldn't cost you an arm and leg. But thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, subscribe. Hope you all enjoyed this video. See y'all later.